So do whatever you like to do with your eyes as we begin to meditate together, whether we're in person here live or whether you're listening to the recording later. I'm in Grand Lake, Colorado, here in the beautiful mountains with a big, beautiful lake behind me. And in a minute, I'm going to pull myself out of the screen. And even if you might be able to tune in a little bit to the movement of the waves, don't know if you'll be able to hear that or not. But begin just to do whatever you want to with your eyes and begin to notice your breathing. We're working with the element of water today, which is good timing since we've got a lake behind us here. But before we tap into the element of water and all of its many messages for us, begin to ground in whatever way you like to ground. Maybe imagining that your feet are growing roots, or that there's a cord dropping from your feet or the base of your spine. It might just be yourself feeling the earth beneath you and that sensation of being held by the earth. The planet on which we live, all of the ways it really sustains us. We honor it and remember that we live with it, not just on it. Feel earth energy rising up through your feet and filling your whole body and beginning to expand out from your body into your energy field, your bubble. Start to visualize or sense, using whatever senses you use. Start to notice that energy bubble around you. It becomes sort of like a membrane. I worked with someone earlier today who said it feels like a womb, just full of nourishing amniotic fluid. Whatever it feels like to you, just sense that you've got this energy bubble around you. And it gets strengthened through our connection to earth energy and sky energy and divine energy, God's love. So feel it rising up from the earth, moving through your body, shining out, and down from the sky. Into your top of your head, moving up and down your body, and shining brightly out, filling your bubble. You are not alone. You are surrounded by earth and sky and divinity, however you conceive of that. Just rest in stillness here. You might tune into your heart center and your wisdom center, right down in your abdomen area, between your belly button and your rib cage. So let those two be an area of focus for you. If you're wiggling around in your mind, that's okay, but just let yourself slide. Slide down into your heart and then into your wisdom center. And you can even put your hands on those two spots if that helps. You can picture yourself traveling, either floating in your bubble or walking along a path to the edge of a lake, where you can just look at the screen and feel yourself on a lakeside. Might be on a little sandy beach or a balcony. You just feel yourself gazing out at the magnificent and sort of magnitude of a lake. It's different than the ocean because lots of times we can see the other side of a lake. So often in the ocean we don't see anything but just the big expanse. But for some reason the lake has a little more containment. Which feels just a tad bit more like real life. Like we do have shorelines in our lives. We have restrictions. We have obligations. And so within the boundaries of the shores of a lake, just feel the flow, the movement of the water, the rhythm. You might just using your sense of hearing, your spiritual hearing, just hear the lapping of waves, less rushing, more lapping. The Buddhist teacher that I've been working with these past few weeks talks about the element of water helps us remember and become aware of the fluidity in our own lives. The rhythm, the flow, the change. Nothing is permanent. We talked about this with fire. This is a little different. The water is more fluid. Changes come and go. This particular teacher talks about how water reminds us of transmutability. How we can take something in our life that is not necessarily serving us and transform it or transmute it. It can be more fluid than we ever would imagine it could be. We might feel like, well, that's just set in stone. That's just the way it is. But in fact, viewing it with the eye of water or the energy of water may help us look at different angles. So bring to mind something in your own life that feels sort of unchangeable. And let the lake water lap around it and over it. rather than burning it and completely, absolutely transforming it. The water's a little more subtle. Is there anything that can just shift slightly? And if you start to feel like you're efforting, like you're putting a lot of effort into thinking about, well, how can we change this just a little bit? Release the mind and drop back down into the heart and tune in just to the rhythm of the lake, letting its energy do the work here. You don't have to do so much work. Just feel it kind of floating, whatever it is in your life. Just feel it floating and bobbing with the energy of water. There may be people in your life that are struggling or hurting or confused or whatever. Just without needing to fix any of their issues, just imagine offering them this energy of water. We know that it's forest fire season and it's dangerous. And as powerful as the element of fire is, we know it's also destructive. And water soothes it, extinguishes it. So the elements begin to work together. So we do offer the energy of water to all of the dry spots, the drought, knowing that we can't really call on rain to fall, maybe a rain dance or something like that. We can sure ask for it. We do offer just a fluidity, a flowing energy for the world to cool the heat, even in our own emotions and fear around fire. There's something also a little joyful about all the elements, but water in particular, playing in the water, all this water sports, swimming, feeling the immensity of even a pool, not to mention a lake or an ocean. And so just bring into your consciousness and your awareness that energy of joy and play, splashing and paddling, and there are, I know, joys in our life. our lives. So we just bring those into the circle, the celebrations and that palpable feeling of relief and joyfulness. So we celebrate with one another and we feel that energy of lightness and joy. Let it seep into your bubble, your own energy bubble. And if there's someone in your life that you're grateful for, or some situation that could use it, that would feel good to thank, offer just a silent, in your own way, a word of thanks. Draw your attention back to your heart center and your wisdom center, your energy bubble overall. And just notice, see what you notice. Do you feel differently in any way than when we started? We'll just begin to give thanks to the element of water. To the element of fire. And its transformative, really alchemical, powerful way of really shifting things dramatically. The element of earth and the way it grounds us and keeps us stable and focused. And air, the way it reminds us of our interconnection with the web of life. Feel yourself noticing your body now, your physical body. Coming back into focus on your feet. Wiggle your toes. Feel your feet firmly on the ground. Or just imagine that grounding cord again. Draw your attention to your head and your hands. You might rub your hands together. And when you are ready, just begin slowly to bring yourself back into the room where you are and open your eyes.